So Bloomberg Quick Take wants to spread propaganda. This video that you're about to watch is complete propaganda. We're going to watch the video and I'm going to explain why it is. Take a look. Pay careful attention to every detail you can.
This is the playpen. All of these kids that you see here behind me are unaccompanied little children. They vary from different ages. These are probably all the youngest that we have currently in custody. And these kids cross by themselves. They know that we're releasing them. They know that right now there's nothing stopping them. We're not going to deport them back to their country, so they keep coming in droves. Right now, these kids, we're starting to see younger and younger kids being brought over by their sponsors, by relatives, by grandparents, whoever it is in the family that is actually asking for these kids and paying the fees to smuggle these kids into the country. I'm a father. I don't want to see that. As a Border Patrol agent, I didn't sign up for this. You know, I have kids of my own. If there isn't a consequence, the flow is going to increase.
So I have so much to say about this, but the first thing I want to say is that this guy should be ashamed of himself. First off, you should know that journalists are prevented in these facilities. So the first question you should ask is, how the heck does Bloomberg Quick Take now have access to the border facilities? These immigration facilities, how do they have access to that? Why do they get access and all the other journalists don't? And are you going to tell us that they get access and that other journalists don't? Or are you just going to hide that information and just allow Bloomberg Quick Take in? But anyways, that's beside the point. I want to read you something from this description that should throw you off a little bit. Acting Executive Officer of the U.S. Border Patrol in the Rio Grande Valley said 250 to 300 kids enter daily. 250 to 300 kids. And this is where they're at. Right here. Look at them. They're not wearing their masks. I only see about 12 of them, maybe. I don't know. I definitely don't see 250 daily. So I don't know how those numbers add up. Something's being hidden, right? And we know something's being hidden because journalists aren't allowed in these facilities. So we know something's being hidden. So these kids are forced into these conditions. They are forced to get COVID. This is how you force kids to get COVID. They're not social distancing. Most of them aren't wearing a mask or just watching TV. Why don't you just let them bring their parents here, fly their parents here, and let them have their own life so that they can not get COVID by force? On top of that, this is just a prison. This is just a prison. Let's look at this. This guy has a fucking gun. This is a cop. This is a cop. He has a gun. But there's another officer also with a gun. Why the fuck do you need a gun right now? Why do these kids who are looking at your gun, why do they have to be scared? Why are you forcing them to be scared of your gun? That's so fucked up. On top of that, this guy wants to play the victim card. He wants to sit in his victim complex, pretending like, I didn't ask for this. Look at these conditions. Look at this. I'm a police officer with a gun right next to a kid. I didn't ask for this. What do you mean you didn't ask for this? Of course you asked for this. That's what Border Patrol does. This has been Border Patrol since they've been established. They just harass women, children, poor people trying to just find a place, people who are fleeing from their lives because they're being murdered. Let's harass them with guns and shoot them every once in a while. And you saw the other video, they have boats where they have 4 to 6 men stationed around with giant military guns that can shoot down hundreds of bullets in one round. Like this is the kind of stuff that the Border Patrol signed up for. So him saying, I didn't sign up for this, is nonsense. And here's why it's nonsense. He even admits it's nonsense because at the very end, if you listen carefully, he says, if there aren't any consequences, listen to what he says about the consequences.
I don't want to see that. As a Border Patrol agent, I didn't sign up for this. You know, I have kids of my own.
Look at that, another gun. Oh, is that gun gone? Oh, they put the gun away. Oh, they hid the gun. Is that what they're doing? Oh, so that solves everything. You remove it from... I'm sure that when the cameras are gone, they probably make sure that they don't put the gun back in the holster that they put on, right? So why have the holster there? What's the purpose of wearing a holster if you're not going to wear a... What are you trying to say here? Bloomberg quick take now? Wherever you got this or whoever sourced this? Why are you not putting a gun in your gun slot here? It's probably because there's a little child right here. That's probably why. It's probably because if that would look really bad to do that, wouldn't it?
I don't want to see that. As a Border Patrol agent, I didn't sign up for this. You know, I have kids of my own. If there isn't a consequence, the flow is going to increase.
If there isn't a consequence, he's advocating for consequences. So that begs the most obvious question. Who gets the consequences? Who deserves the consequence? Well, there seems to be only one group of people that you would want to give consequences to, Border Patrol? He's advocating for consequences on these children. He's not advocating for consequences for us. He's not advocating for consequences for himself. He's advocating for consequences for the children. Blame the children, punish the children. That's what he's saying. That's what he's saying. This is gross and disgusting. This is exactly why all cops are bastards. Every single one of them.